Okay, good morning. Haven't played this game in a couple days. See if I remember how to do it. It's 9:21. I have about 40 minutes. I can play until 10. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Ooh.
Cast that yet.
Oh, the raptor's gonna get me. We'll need to kill the crocodiles, so we'll get down to the river. We'll do that. We do a lot of kiting running to our right. I keep saying I want to practice running to the left for a bit of muscle memory, so we'll give that a shot. I am level... I think I'm 12? I think I'm aiming for 12. And Jeremy, you caught me early, so my chat's still working. That is awesome. For once. I thought I had a workaround. I was going to put... As long as I don't die here. I was going to put the chat in OBS, and I thought I'd be able to see it on my screen. But I ran out of time trying to figure it out, so I gave up. I just want to play for 30 minutes or so. Yeah, 12. I think I can get to maybe 13 before I turn this off. And then if I do another couple hours throughout the week, I'll be ready for the weekend. And I really can't thank you enough for all the help you've given me, getting the setup going, and also the support. Just like having one or two comments here and there, or a like here and there. I'm sure you remember when you first started. It goes a long way, man. I really do appreciate it. I'm just thinking about that. I don't really understand how that would work. Do you have a streaming PC? Do you use two computers? Is that how that would work? No, because then how would you see it with your... How would you see it with your headset on? I don't get how that would work seeing the chat.
That's charge in.
One PC. I'll probably ask you how you've been doing it recently then. When I can pay more attention. I finally told a group of friends that I've been doing this, and they took the piss and made fun of me quite a bit. And one of my friends kept telling me I should be facing the camera, which you do. 3 screens. Which you do. So I put out a little short asking the question, and it didn't really get any comments. Just one guy said it was better over the shoulder. And then I was thinking about it. It might be cool if I keep this camera angle, and then if I put my chat over here towards my camera is, at least it's like a little personal when I'm talking to people. Maybe. See if it works. But back to your layout then. So you have 2 monitors, technically 3 displays. If you have your chat popping up on your second display, how do you see it through your headset? Right? I still don't understand how you see your chat.
Far away. That's Steve's charge in.
And like I suspect what I have going on right here will probably shut down in 10 more minutes. Seems like 20, 30 minutes and then it stops working. Straighten this treadmill back out. There we go. Oh, in the water. And you think just by putting it on a second display, you haven't had that issue where Steam VR just doesn't respond to the little buttons anymore? Because I could try that. Although, if I open Steam, I don't really understand how you would get an overlay from a second monitor, but I've never used a second one. Maybe it'll be obvious if I set it up. Yeah, that's actually how I do it. So I open it up in the browser. For me, I just started to use the Restream. So I open up the chat in the web browser, and then what I was doing is I would pop it out and float it in the world next to the virtual screen. But then when the Steam crap happens and it becomes unresponsive, that chat window that's over here in an Internet Explorer just shuts down and disappears. And that's how I know the Steam button has stopped working, because the chat will disappear.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Oh, went the wrong way on that one. No, I don't get that. I do sometimes get some frame rate issues. It kind of looks like desync, where it doesn't refresh at the same rate or something like that. Yeah, my setup has been pretty solid. Like, everything I've gotten has worked pretty flawlessly. Ever since I've had the Index, I haven't had any issues with controllers, tracking, anything. Catwalk treadmill, I set that up. Everything seemed to work perfectly fine. Only recently, when I start to incorporate the game V room, has it started to cause that issue. So I played Half-Life Alyx, and I had chat popped out for like an hour and a half, and I never had the issue. So I'm thinking it might be game V room interacting with something, and something's failing or crashing. I'm not sure.
Past that yet.
And I goofed. Oh, I finally got it. I goofed when I was trying to set this up today. I was playing around with trying to get the window to just be an overlay, like have Game VR Room recognize it and have it show up over my World of Warcraft, so that if Steam closed, I could still see the window. But what that ended up doing is it made this pop out gigantic, so to read any message, it starts here, and I have to look all the way to my back wall to read it. So I think I am going to try and adjust that window real quick. If I just like push it really far back, because it ended up being massive, I won't have to look around my room to read a message. Oh, get out of here. I wonder if OBS is picking up the chat right now, because when I select it, it does what I wanted it to do. It shows up in the corner of my World of Warcraft. Wait. Oh, but then I can't run. Alright, so I do have to select World of Warcraft. And then the chat disappears in front of me. Yeah, I'll have to play around with it. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I could try the old, like, delete stuff and reinstall stuff to see if that ever fixes anything. I've just never had to do that on anything I've ever had related to VR. I feel like my treadmill got screwed up while I was playing around with the menus. There we go. I didn't know this was a mad one. Let's just run away.
I need to get closer.
And you know something that was pretty cool? And I don't know if you experienced this. Obviously doing this treadmill doesn't simulate or replicate actual running. But for doing this for a week, I took my kids to the park, and my legs, they just feel looser. You know, just like getting up and moving them around consistently. I feel like that still has an impact and correlates to me just feeling better running around with my kids. I thought that was pretty cool. You can't argue that, like, obviously it doesn't simulate running. But just like instead of me sitting down for an hour, hour and a half playing World of Warcraft, not moving at all in comparison to working up a sweat for an hour, This was pretty good. I think it's got to be good for you, right? That's why I love the comments you get on some of your videos and during your stream, where people are like, go touch grass. And it's like, I bet you just sat down for like 4 hours in front of a computer without blinking or moving a muscle. It's like, I'm just doing what you're doing, except I'm moving my body doing it. Yeah, I think Barons will be a lot of fun. I think there's a way to get a weak aura. I think Jeremy was here watching for a little bit. He does the same thing, and he's got a weak aura that's set up that tracks how far his character has moved in the game. And I thought that was really cool. I tried to copy that, but I couldn't figure it out. But I think the Barons would be pretty cool. And then to add to that, I'm playing without a pet. So for any mob that's like my level or a little higher, I want to be able to kite with traps and, you know, really work up a sweat as much as possible. Do you hear me? I sound like I'm running in real life right now as I'm trying to just talk. Yeah, it's good though. When it first started, just leaving the Valley of Trials and running to Razor Hill, my calves and my hips were really bothering me. It was like the first time I'd been on the treadmill. And it was a real struggle, I won't lie. I had to keep bending over and taking breaks. It was pretty good. What are we doing now? It also makes me think, you know, I've been following Rested Experience, so it's pretty mindless just following the arrow. But sometimes it points the direction of the quest, not necessarily the route you have to take to get there. And there's been situations where I've run like a couple hundred meters in the wrong direction, and I'm just like, oh, normally I wouldn't care, but now I gotta run 400 meters the other direction. Yeah, Barons will be a fun one. Maybe I'll get some good clips out of that because I'll be dripping in sweat. And then I was thinking something I could do at level 40. I'm using, so it doesn't show up because I'm using AI software to remove my background, but I actually have a big backplate, a pole that runs to a base station. And the whole thing is called a Katwalk VR treadmill. And I've got these shoes. I don't know if these will show up. I got these shoes here that have sensors in the bottom, and it just tracks when you're moving that sensor. Kind of like a, you know, a mouse on a mouse pad, except your foot is, you got 2 feet for mice. And depending on which direction I move my feet, oh, I know, that's a big issue for games like Resident Evil 2. If you've ever played the Resident Evil games, your character just walks and like does a slow jog. So when I'm playing a horror game, you know, something scary happens, I'm turning and I'm running full speed, and Leon, he's fucking just slowly pacing. So yeah, that would be cool if more games had compatibility for something like this, and character movement was based on how fast you move your feet on the treadmill. But I guess the shame is people will always find loopholes to try and exploit that in any sort of multiplayer environment. Thanks, Jeremy. That'd be cool. And you know what? I think I'm running to the Barrens right now, right? After you go to the watch post. And that's when I'll realize that I didn't get the flight path in org. So if that's not like one that's given to you for free, I'll have to run all the way back. This Katwalk VR treadmill, you can buy a little stool or a little fold-out seat that attaches to the base. And I'm thinking a reward at level 40 when I get a mount is I'll start using that seat and I'll start acting like I'm riding a horse. Try to be as goofy as possible. Twitch as well. Yeah, same name. Marty in VR. Just starting, so I really appreciate you watching and typing in chat. It's way better than me just having to run and talk to myself from time to time. And the goal is obviously this is hardcore, so the goal is to get to level 60. And I've also put a challenge into myself. I'm a pretty heavy guy for how small boned I am and how little muscle I have. I put in a little challenge to myself to try and lose 60 pounds while leveling to level 60. So we'll see how that goes. I think the hardest part would actually be not dying in hardcore. At this rate, I think losing 60 pounds over 180 hours of playing might be the easier part. I know. Level 40 is a long way away. They're telling me to look at the flawed power stone next to and use this item. Starts a 30-minute timer. So be sure to be quick. Oh, be sure to be quick. I am anything but quick on this thing. So let's try this. 30-minute timer. Travel to the crossroads. Yeah, it's definitely a fun way to play World of Warcraft, though. Way different. I've played a ton of World of Warcraft. Ton of WoW. And I got kind of addicted to playing hardcore. And I would just sit down for, like 3 hours before work and level. And then I would stay up late trying to level. And then I would die and just start all over. So this feels like a way to sort of, not break an addiction, but just a different way to enjoy a hobby, I would say. That's maybe a little bit more healthy and better for me.
I need to target something first.
Yeah, you were right. The Barrens is gonna suck. Still got 600 yards to go. Good thing is I wasn't going to play long this morning. I was only going for another 14 minutes or so until 10 o'clock. So by the time I get there, pick up some quests. I'll get to level 13, that was a goal. In fact, I might be able to kill some of this stuff and just level. I don't want to do that, he's got a pet. In fact, we'll just run out here.
inventory is full.
Oh, this might be just a good goal to reach the crossroads here, turn everything in, and get to the inn. And maybe that's where I'll call it. I didn't realize this long of a run was gonna wind me like this. Oh, my hips. That's awesome. Yeah, no, there's some cool stuff you can do. So if I sit, my character won't sit by default, but obviously I could set up a macro to do /sit. You know, I could even just type it with this virtual keyboard. And as my character sits, I could do it. But yeah, what I want to do, I mentioned you can get a chair that folds out. So what I'll probably do, because you know dungeons and everything can sometimes take over an hour. If I need a break, do a /sit macro, fold down the chair, and have a seat. And was your mom not excited for you to play video games in general, World of Warcraft, or virtual reality? Because I could see an argument as a parent myself. My kids are pretty young. I've let them put on the VR headset, and there's no studies out there that say VR is bad for kids. But I assume that's because they can't really do any testing on young children, right? I would have to assume prolonged exposure to virtual reality cannot be good for a developing brain or kids' eyes or anything like that. So I could certainly agree with her. But I guess you're probably older than that because you said when you were a young boy. Now if you're older, dude, I highly recommend games, and this is how I keep in touch with all my high school buddies, through games. This is how I relieve stress. This is how I relax at the same time. And now I'm trying to be a little bit more creative. I just started this last week. So it's kind of like a creative outlet now. Trying to make shorts and videos and goals and stuff. Thank you very much. I just started, like I said, so having you come in here and just give me someone to talk to and someone to interact with, that's like a huge motivation, a huge change, and it makes it so much more enjoyable than just zoning out, following this quest marker. Do you play World of Warcraft? I mean, I assume you do, because you knew about the Barons.
Some strength.
If you ever play like hardcore WoW or on this Doomhow server, I think it is. I'll party with anybody. I'll play with anybody. As long as you're willing to put up with an inefficient hunter that's bad at the game playing in virtual reality.
Thunder.
Now it wants me to do another quest. I kind of want to get the inn so I can hearth when I'm all tired.
Looking for something special? Walk with the Earth Mother.
You can do some silly stuff on the treadmill too. I was excited for this because I can, as I'm kiting enemies, I can obviously run sideways, which looks pretty stupid. Once I hit level 40, I'll have the mount.
What do you need?
And I'm thinking as being as dumb as I sit down, I'll like get one of those wooden horses, or a horse on a stick, like the wooden sticks.
Go forth to victory.
You know, do some of that weird stuff. I don't know what that looked like on camera. It probably looked inappropriate, but
What now?
let's follow this arrow and do what it says. I meant to act like I was riding a horse and making a click noise. Oh, dude, that's perfect. I mean, that's a good argument to make. My wife is not heavily against video games, but definitely she doesn't approve of playing a ton of them. And an argument I have is when I play with my kids now, when I played when I was younger, they definitely helped with, even English is obviously my primary language, but vocabulary. I'll never forget the day I went into, I think it was like middle school, and we had our definitions and spelling test, and dexterity showed up, and I had been playing Diablo 1. I was like, dexterity? I know exactly how to spell that and what that is. There you go, video games paying off. Teaching vocab. So my kids, my young son is really into Farming Simulator, and he's always asking for help. I'm just like, dude, you gotta read. And we'll just work through the problems together. If he's trying to figure out what equipment does or what button he has to push, I just point to where he needs to read it in the menus. And he's been getting a lot of practice reading that way. Oh, this was terrible. This might be the end of me. This might be where I die. All because I got excited that I had a viewer. We're popping a potion early, and we're going to keep running. Yeah. This is going to be a close one. Oh my goodness. That was terrible. I'm all sweaty now. So hang on. I'm out of potions. I don't think I have anything else. Huh. Just gonna lower the heart rate before I start running again, and I really gotta try and pay more attention. In fact, I'm considering just hearthing because I just got so sweaty with the sweat coming down my brow now is really distracting.
I don't have a target. I need to target something first. I don't have a target.
That was terrible. 2 GIS, huh? First, like, viewer that I get. I get so distracted that I just get myself killed. And I've got so much sweat in my eyes now that it's kind of blurry. All right, we're gonna keep going.
Don't have a target.
Nope. Now I'm all foggy in here.
I need to target something first.
What are we doing?
I need a target.
Killing plane striders? Travel to the top of the mountain. This is what I was talking about, where I follow this marker, and I don't think it always has me going the right, most efficient way. And this map is useless with all this stuff on there. Is it this mountain? Will I? I think that's to the south, right?
I need to target something first.
I've done this so many times on, like I said, on mouse and keyboard. But I zone out so much playing this game just because I've done the same quests over and over. This is the first time I've actually paid attention to the places I'm going and the routes I'm taking, all that stuff. I kind of want to hearth, fly to Org, and just buy more potions off the auction house. Like big potions too. But I don't have much time left. And I don't know if these social aggro, so we're gonna walk away from that one.
Isn't ready yet. That's too much charge. I can't cast that yet.
Hey, thanks, Madison. This is the first time I've had some viewers jump in here, and I was just talking to TGIS, and I got distracted, walked into a whole group of lions, and they got me to 1% health. So that was a... I'm not good at multitasking by any means. I can't talk to people in the car while I'm driving at the same time. I just automatically start to go super slow and miss turns. So streaming will not be something I'm good at, that's for sure. It'll take a lot of practice. Like Jeremy, you said I kite better than you do. I feel like an idiot. And I have to focus so much on all the buttons. And I think I have to buy more armor. I get nervous just meleeing. Like, I'm gonna run from this because I don't have a potion. And I didn't do enough damage with my bow. So I'm worried. Let's make sure we don't attack it. There we go. I'm worried that it would kill me.
I don't have a target.
Yeah, this is me with VR. So I got the headset on. I'm playing this game. It's not true virtual reality though. I'm not seeing out of the character's eyes. So I'm using like VR controls in a VR space to play World of Warcraft. Oh, that's convenient. Never had that before. Jeremy, I swear that was my first disconnect ever. You know what we could do? Let's be professional about this. And get back in here. I'm glad I stopped fighting that thing. First disconnect. Jeremy, maybe you're just bad luck, man. Maybe the disconnects just follow you around. I played for like an hour and a half the other day. I'm just typing in all this stuff on a virtual keyboard to log back in. So it takes me about 90 seconds. We're almost there. No, oh, the servers go down. Is it maintenance? I was not paying any attention. Dude, I was panicking a little bit, thinking I was in trouble. I was so caught up and enjoying this, having people to talk to. All right, so I'm gonna call it here. I had some stuff I should probably do at 10 o'clock anyway. Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind, follow me on Twitch if you're a follower, or if you're watching me on Twitch, and subscribe on YouTube. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks, Jeremy.